everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to tackle a really interesting part of English grammar, reflexive pronouns. You know the ones I'm talking about, right? The words that end in self or selves. Getting these right can seriously, and I mean seriously, level up your fluency. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so take a look at this sentence here. I taught me English. Does that sound right to you? It feels a little weird, doesn't it? Kind of clunky. Something's just off. This is a super common point of confusion, but don't worry, it's exactly what we're here to clear up today. I promise, by the end of this, you'll know exactly what's wrong here and, more importantly, how to fix it. All right, so to fix a sentence like that, we need to call in a special team of words. I like to call them the self squad. Let's get to know them and figure out what makes them so special. So here's the main idea, the real core of it all. You use a reflexive pronoun when the subject of a sentence, that's the person doing the action, is the same as the object, the person receiving the action. It's like the action boomerangs right back to the person who started it. It reflects back. And here they are, the whole squad. The good news, there are only 8 of them, which makes them pretty easy to remember. You've got your singular ones ending in self, like myself, yourself, himself. And then you have the plural ones ending in selves, like ourselves and themselves. These 8 words, they're our main characters for today. Okay, so let's get into their first big job. We're going to call this the mirror rule. It's a really simple way to remember one of the main reasons we use these pronouns. And yeah, just like the name says, it's all about reflection. The mirror rule couldn't be simpler, really. If the person doing the action is also the one receiving the action, you need a reflexive pronoun. Just think about it literally. When you look at a mirror, who do you see? You see yourself. The action, looking, bounces right back at you. This example nails it perfectly. Who's doing the looking? She. And who's she looking at? Herself. See? The subject and the object are the exact same person. It's a perfect reflection, just like we talked about. Aha! And here we are, right back where we started. The correct sentence is, of course, I taught myself English. And now we know why, right? Because the person doing the teaching, that's I, is the same person who's doing the learning. The action comes right back to the subject. You can't teach me in this context. You have to teach myself. And just so you know, this rule works perfectly for plurals too. Take this sentence. Who enjoyed the party? We did. And who did we enjoy? Ourselves. It's a group action reflecting back onto the whole group. I mean, saying we enjoyed us just sounds wrong, doesn't it? Ourselves is the word that makes it all click. All right, so that's the mirror rule. That's job number 1. But there's a second really important job these words have. Let's call this one the spotlight rule, because this one is all about emphasis. You know, sometimes you want to make it crystal clear that the subject, and only the subject, did something. Using a reflexive pronoun here is like putting a giant spotlight on them. You're highlighting that they did it all on their own. It basically means without any help. Check out the subtle difference here. You could totally just say, I did this project, and that's a perfectly good sentence. But when you add myself, you're really emphasizing something. You're saying, hey, no one else helped me with this. You're putting that spotlight right on your own achievement. Here's another great one. This sentence makes it super clear that the adults didn't come in and save the day. Nope, the children and only the children did all the cleaning. That word themselves shines the spotlight right on them. And okay, one more, just to really drive it home. When we say he fixed the car himself, what we're really saying is that he didn't call a mechanic, He didn't ask his buddy for help. He was the one under the hood getting it done. It adds this whole extra layer of independence, you know? All right, so we've covered our two big rules, the mirror rule for reflection and the spotlight rule for emphasis. Now, you think you've got it? Let's do a quick check and find out. Okay, here's your challenge. Look at this sentence. Did you make this cake? What word goes in that blank? Think about it. Which rule are we using here? The mirror or the spotlight? I'll give you a sec. And the answer is yourself. Did you make this cake yourself? This is a classic case of the spotlight rule. The question is really asking, did you make this all on your own or did you buy it? It's all about that emphasis. Awesome job if you got that right. So let's just do a super quick recap to lock this in. On one hand, you've got the mirror rule, where the action reflects back. Like in, he blames himself. He's the one doing the blaming and the one getting blamed. Then on the other hand, you've got the spotlight rule for emphasis. He fixed it himself, which means he did it all alone. See? Two very different jobs for the same set of words. Pretty cool, right? And that's pretty much the whole story. It might seem like a small, nerdy grammar detail, but honestly, getting these pronouns right adds so much precision and clarity to what you're saying. Now you can show exactly when an action is reflected or when you're really trying to emphasize something. So I'll leave you with this final thought. How can mastering just 8 little words actually change how you express yourself to the world? Something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.